In today's video, let's have a quick look at the latest tweet from DENT Wireless. So today they tweeted about Elon Musk's SpaceX Starlink program. So if people who don't know about Starlink is another spin-up business from Elon Musk, who is the owner of Tesla. So Elon Musk has come up with the idea of Starlink. So basically Starlink is a wireless, it's a satellite communication system. So basically they launch low orbit satellites and thousands of them in an array, and that allows them people to connect to access to internet in remote areas where traditional telcos could not reach. So that's the target for Starlink. And recently there is a petition filed by Starlink or SpaceX, you can say, because Starlink is part of SPACEX.com. So they have filed a petition for license for becoming a telecommunications carrier. So that's a very big news. That was filed just a month ago. So now what they are trying to achieve is they have been very successful in their beta program testing, where users can order their own satellite router, and once you have the router, this is the router. So once you have the router, let's copy image. Oops, there's no option to copy image. So once you have the router, then you can access internet like a home broadband service. So that's the idea. So normally what we do is we get access to internet either by two ways. One is you either subscribe to a home broadband provider, which is via wired network, which is either fiber optic or traditional copper cable. So there are two options there when it comes to home broadband service. And the second option is you could use depend on the traditional telecom providers, where you have a phone and through the phone you get connection to the internet. So these are the two mediums through which traditionally we get access to internet. But think about people living in remote areas who don't have access to internet, and the traditional telecom providers could not provide coverage in those areas. So those kind of people is what Starlink is trying to target. So in today's tweet, DENT has mentioned something about Starlink, SpaceX and DENT Wireless. So if people who don't know about what DENT Wireless has been doing in the recent days, I would suggest having a look at what they have been doing. So recently they did a prototype, the DENT Wireless team, which allows you to integrate their eSIM.
For this prototype, we created our own SIM card, added it to the camera, and the camera uploaded the video to the cloud. On your phone, you can check the status of your house using the app from the manufacturer of the camera. Using DENT teams, we can control the data that is used by the camera and assign more data if needed.
So that's a recent prototype that the DENT R&D team managed to do, which allows IoT, Internet of Things, to be getting connected. So that's a prototype, how quickly they could get the hardware tweaked to a camera to work with the DENT team's product suite. So that's another interesting one. And another tweet a couple of years ago in 2019, they tweet about the DENT operator trading desk. So this is something very unique. So I'm going to connect the dots by saying how Starlink, Starlink has filed an application for becoming a telecom network provider. So how that connects with DENT's range of products, that's what we are going to do, because we haven't got an official confirmation from either from Starlink, Elon Musk's Starlink company, or from DENT Wireless itself. So all we have is a tweet from DENT Wireless giving us some hint about what could be the potential partnership between SpaceX and Starlink and DENT Wireless could be. But this looks promising, because in the past 2 years DENT has been fighting really hard to get the conventional telecom providers into their platform, but they didn't manage to succeed, because we can see that very easily how they shifted their focus from traditional SIM products, which is air top up and voice minutes, to directly into eSIM, because eSIM is the future of the mobile network evolution coming up. And most of the next generation smartphones are going to be by default having a eSIM and not the physical SIM anymore. By 2025 they are predicting all the new phones are going to be eSIM supported fully. Until then we have the plastic SIM cards working. But the point I'm trying to make now is, this is a operator trading desk platform they developed, where mobile network operators could potentially sell their data in bulk quantities to DENT Wireless, and which DENT Wireless can then sell it in their marketplace using this trading desk. But for some reason the traditional telcos were reluctant to participate in this program, so DENT has to become a telecom provider themselves. So now, since the traditional telcos, they didn't are willing to participate into the new marketplace and open market system for mobile data, DENT Wireless themselves applied for a mobile virtual network operator license, and they became a network operator themselves, virtual mobile network operator themselves. And now the next version of the mobile app is going to be really interesting, because that is going to open up the vision of DENT going forward, because it will allow you to sell unused mobile data, which has a market of $35 billion every year. So that market is going to be focused in the next couple of months. And this Starlink SpaceX partnership with DENT is quite possible, because when Starlink, Elon Musk's company, has filed for a license to become a telecom operator. You can read for yourself. If you just make a quick Google search for Starlink applies for mobile communication network, you will be taken to this PDF document, which says the actual document of the petition that they have filed. So they have filed for getting a full telecom license, becoming a telecommunications carrier, pretty much like AT&T and Verizon in US. So US has a population of 300 million people, more than 300 million people, and it's a very geographically distributed country, and there are quite a lot of remote places where people could not get a decent broadband connectivity, internet connectivity. So they are targeting that geography to start with. And there are quite a lot of other countries as well, like Australia, New Zealand and UK as well, where lots of places the telecommunications providers cannot give a better coverage. So those are the target for the Starlink network service. Since now they are applying for a telecommunications carrier, there are quite a lot of chances that DENT could be working in partner with them. The reason I'm saying is they are a new telecommunications carrier with complete infrastructure ready, and now all they need is a marketplace where they could quickly take it to the end users. With the DENT product suites, like DENT has quite a lot of product range. They have DENT Gigastore for resellers, they have DENT retail mobile app, and then they have DENT API portal where businesses can use to sell the eSIM services in 80 different countries. So now they have a platform fully ready, and they have a trading desk as well. As I showed just now, they have a trading desk which was built 2 years ago actually. This shows how forward thinking DENT Wireless is. They developed this trading desk for the telcos to participate in the ecosystem, but unfortunately the conventional telcos, they don't see the benefit of the trading desk. So now DENT Wireless themselves become a wireless carrier now, and now the chances for onboarding Starlink as a telecommunications carrier into the DENT ecosystem is very highly likely. That is one potential chance. And the other potential likely chance is that they could probably work with the hardware device for the hardware layer for the Starlink / SpaceX program. So that is another program, because the reason saying is how you can see how quickly they prototyped IoT camera using the eSIM. So I have a strong feeling that either one of them is likely to happen, and it's becoming quite imminent, and we can expect a proper announcement from DENT Wireless very soon. But they have given a very good hint at this point of time as we speak that there is a potential chance that Starlink / SpaceX could be partnering with DENT Wireless in terms of providing an eSIM service using Starlink as a telecom provider. That is quite high chances, because they are new to the market as well as a telecommunication carrier, and instead of going for the conventional telcos who are finding Starlink as a threat actually. So the conventional telcos, AT&T and Verizon and T-Mobile, they all are going to find this as a threat to their conventional model, because they have been charging quite a lot, and you can clearly see how Elon Musk targets telecom for the next disruption with Starlink internet. So he is angling for a piece of 1 trillion market. That is huge. The current telecom providers market is worth $1 trillion market cap. You can imagine how cleverly Elon Musk is targeting to take a small pie of that 1 trillion market. Potentially he could easily grab 25 billion market share very easily. So that's what I am also been saying. DENT Wireless has the huge market potential to acquire at least 10 billion market cap in the next 3 to 4 years span, because the target audience for DENT Wireless is billions of mobile data users, and eSIM is going to be a big thing in the next 3 to 4 years span, and most of the telecom providers are going to provide eSIM service very soon. And once they do that, DENT Wireless is going to be positioned very well. They could be offering their own eSIM, numbered eSIM as well in many countries, not just one country. At the moment they are only providing data only services, but that could easily change once the conventional telcos start providing eSIM services as well. And this is why I'm saying Starlink and potentially even if you look at the Tesla cars, they have a slim SIM slot. So in the future, their future cars could be provided with the eSIM, potentially from DENT as well, because DENT has been working on providing a OEM platform for eSIM devices. So that once they have the eSIM OEM platform for eSIMs, they could easily embed a DENT eSIM into the Tesla cars if this partnership works out very well. So that's how big the potential partnership could get in the future. And it's I'm seeing now that the timing is perfect, because just a couple of months ago SpaceX has applied for cheaper mobile Starlink plans, and they are targeting to provide plans just worth $9.25 per month for broadband and just $5 for monthly phone service. That's the plan and vision that Starlink has. And instead of building their own ecosystem and then finding their own customers, if they partner with an already existing vendor in the market with the app and a marketplace, then that becomes much easier for SpaceX to easily sell their eSIM plans for their end users pretty quick, and the app could do that very easily for the end users. So and at the moment SpaceX target is US. So because US has quite a lot of user base where lots of people are remotely distributed, and they have a huge market for providing high speed broadband for remote areas. So that's a key news that's been highlighted in today's tweet. You can already see that they have their own Starlink app, which allows to connect to the router they provide, and that's quite a big news from my opinion, I would say, because that just shows how much the DENT engineers have been working behind the scenes. So they don't hype, they usually tweet only when it's done, most of the things. So this news is going to be quite huge in the coming next couple of months. We have to keep an eye on what's the actual partnership is, because they might have a non-disclosure agreement between SpaceX and DENT Wireless, so we may not know what's going on behind the scenes, but they have given some hints through the tweet that there is something coming out to provide a high-speed, low-latency broadband through the partnership with SpaceX and Spacex Starlink with DENT Wireless. So that's a huge boom, because now SpaceX could be the first telecom provider to participate with the DENT ecosystem. If that happens, you can imagine, and the first marketplace is going to be US. It's not just any other country. So they are how once US participates in that ecosystem, guess how long it will take for the other European countries and other Western countries and the Asian countries to follow the model, and even Australia, New Zealand. There's a lots of remote places in the world where providing mobile coverage is really difficult for the telecom providers. They tried many options, like Facebook tried with drones, sending drones, and even Google tried with sending balloons to solve the internet connectivity problem in rural areas. Africa is a huge market where lots of places within Africa the telecom providers cannot provide coverage. So you can imagine this partnership, if it has to materialize in the future, that's going to be SpaceX will become the first telecom provider in the US market to onboard into telcos DENT Wireless ecosystem. So that is huge, because people in the DENT community have been waiting to see at least one telecom provider directly partnering with DENT Wireless, which hasn't happened in the past 3 years. And that's the reason DENT has to become a wireless provider, a mobile network provider themselves. So now it makes sense if this has to happen. You can imagine how big the potential future chances are there for having more deals with SpaceX and Tesla. That's what I would like to highlight in today's video. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.